Very good. At this time, we are going to start our neighborhood matters awards. Anyone that would like to come in and sit down at this time, you can. If you have a vacant seat, please, like they say, move in the center or remove your items from that empty chair. Your program is in your bag. If you do not have a program, if you look to this wall to your left, there is a bag, a white bag that has all the items that you need for today. We should be able to move relatively quickly. Let me give some instructions to our photographers. I know that this is a great opportunity to treasure and to preserve memories. And so a young lady asked me kind of like what the process is and that type of thing. And here at APAB, because this is the City Hall, the People's House, we don't have a formal process by which you can take pictures. Just be respectful to those behind you. But if there are times and moments where if you want to capture with your loved ones, feel free to do so. We do have a photographer here where we can take some formal pictures, because I like to definitely want to make sure we have a picture with the awards and the honoree, their chair and or delegate. Mr. Toomer, since he's the first vice president, he can be in those photos since I have to continue to preside if he doesn't mind. And then we also, delegates, we want to take honorees. We want to take a group photo as well, because we want to just send out some post announcements about this great day. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Toomer. Yes, thank you very much. Before I do that, I'd like to recognize we have some elected officials in the meeting. We have our new president of Atlanta City Council, Felicia Moore. And we do, I want to take point of privilege in saying that we're excited because Council President Moore has been a friend of APAB's. She has always been our cheerleader. As a matter of fact, I believe we've given her an award in the past for her support and dedication and service. And so we know that we have a friend in her, and we know that she's going to assist us with a lot of these resolutions that we're sending to the council, and maybe we can get some stuff done moving forward with all of our resolutions. Also, I'd like to recognize Councilman Hillis. Is he still here? Dustin Hillis? He was here earlier. Okay. And then also Councilman Matt Westmoreland, who was here earlier. Okay. Have I omitted anyone or overlooked anyone? If so, I do apologize. I'd also like to recognize our good friend and partner and sponsor of today's awards, and that is Deborah Scott, who's Executive Director of Georgia Stand Up. Thank you so much for tirelessly to help us with the work that we do for the citizens of Atlanta. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Toomer, who's going to give us a brief talk about what the occasion is as it relates to the awards, when we get the awards all set up.
Okay, I am Eric Toomer, delegate from NPUQ, and as I understand it, the awards are basically for our people, they're for the community, and it gives us a chance to recognize who the individual NPUs set up to recognize as their yeomen, or yo persons, I guess I should say. And in each time, we're really looking at people that are doing good work that is helping the community to move forward. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that we're not recognizing. We are not recognizing the person that speaks the loudest with diatribes. But y'all, we are recognizing the person in most cases that talks soft and does the work of the community, for the betterment of the community. And I really, really think that is more important than talking loud, creating discord within this organization or your own organization. We do have members that are disruptive, and they should probably get an award. That is not what this is about. That being said, we're going to move on to the next phase. And that will be for Ann Phillips, our treasurer and finance person.
Good morning. Good morning. We're going to ask that you all join me this morning in giving the Thanksgiving salute to the citizen engagement. That is found on the inside of the second page of your program. We are truly blessed and enriched by the many people of this city who volunteer their time and their talent in small and large ways for the benefit of the many communities and for the advancement of equity and justice. There is no insignificant work that is done among us. All efforts, from maintaining our property to cleaning the city to leadership to advising our elected officials, all are important efforts by which we are mutually blessed and by which our city prospers. It is therefore appropriate on this day that we should recognize the work that is done by so many faithful and dedicated people, giving thanks to one another for making community service manifest among us in such a variety of ways. May we all stand to our feet as we share the salute to volunteers. We will read the part in bold print with the P standing for the word people. We are all called into service as the residents of Atlanta. Our lives are enriched through the citizen engagement work we perform. We are strengthened and inspired to live lives of mutual love, service, in the place called the city of Atlanta, Georgia. For all work of the people, for the people, and by the people, we give our heartfelt thanks and praise. We give thanks. For those who lead and those who follow, for officers and councils and committees and boards. We give thanks. For those who give, those who work, for those who plan and for those who guide, for those with wisdom and for those with inspiration. We give thanks. For our past and for our future, for the many ways that we have served in our neighborhoods, for the purpose of being the community. We give thanks. Keep us ever committed to service, that we might find strength to endure to the end. We dedicate our lives to service. May we acknowledge with gratefulness the importance of all citizen volunteers and all of our gifts for the mission that we are given. We dedicate our lives to service. May our work inspire others to become more engaged in good citizenship. It is in our hands. We thank all people in this great city of Atlanta for the volunteer work that they perform. Volunteers lend their hands, their minds, and their words that we might bring about a better place to live, work, and play in Atlanta. Volunteer work can prosper the lives of residents in our neighborhoods. It is in our hands. Thank you so very much. And again, welcome to all of you, and we are so very honored to have you with us today.
At this point, we are moving back to the presentation, and Jennifer will take over.
Okay, sorry for my back. So this time, I'm going to call Dr. Reverend Arthur Carson, NPUG, along with the chair, Ola Reynolds. Now it's kind of an awkward setup, so let me just ask, I think since the media station is right over here, then you have to turn this way, okay? But on behalf of the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, we'd like to present you with this City of Atlanta Neighborhood Manager Awards. We make it a point to make sure that we provide this as a support to the neighborhood planning units and that they choose who they want to choose. And I looked at your bio, and you've done quite a bit in the community, and we want to thank you so much for that. Thank you for making a difference, and we hope that you will continue to do so. Okay. He's a reverend and a doctor. Okay, so I'm not going to put a time limit on it, okay? But don't let me have to.
First of all, I want to say a great big thank you to, I have to begin here because without God leading me, and He has led me for 42 years to work in the community where we are. I believe in community. I believe that communities are important. I believe that people make a difference. I want to thank Ms. Reynolds, who I work with alongside of her. And I told somebody the other day, without Ms. Reynolds, you ain't got me. Because she is involved in community. I want to thank my wife, who has given up her time. I'm in places where she probably won't me to be otherwise. Stand up. Then I want to thank my church family because they too have participated in my being a recipient of this. Sometimes I should be doing church business when I'm doing community business. But it's all a part of as I see my responsibility in community. My last statement is, and I'm thankful to the NPUG for when we've done things together over the years. And to our new council president, yes. We've worked for years. I don't mean just 2 or 3, but even before she was elected to the 9th district, and she was intricately involved and did not stop being involved. And I want to say thank you for allowing us to be participants together. Amen? That's all I got to say.
The pastor, he said, if I'm too long, just say amen. I said, amen. You've done excellent, outstanding. Okay, at this time, we're going to move right along to if Miss Patricia Brown, NPVP, would come up forward. And then also the chair, Mr. Russian, as well as Robin Cornell, the secretary still? Okay, you come up as well. If there are the respective council person in any one of these NPUs, you're more than welcome to come up as well. Council president as well. All right. So I don't know much about you, but that's okay, because you have the pure Lord Spirit. That's what I can tell about you. And I had an opportunity to read, of course, all of the bios. And what I am overwhelmed with is there are times when we do really good work in our communities and we don't get recognized for it. And so I think that this is an opportunity for all of us to recommit ourselves to our community. And it's people like you, Ms. Brown, who are a glowing example of what our citizens should be. And so I want you to continue serving. And please, don't be a stranger. All of you all, don't be a stranger. Please come back and be a part of APAB and the programming that we have going on, okay? So on behalf of the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, I'd like to present you the City of Atlanta Neighborhoods Matter Awards. Patricia Brown, NPU. Congratulations.
Once again, please.
Good morning again. I'm a person of very few words, but I would like to say that I'm honored and humbled to be considered for this APAB Awards, yet received it. I'd like to thank Mr. Reginald Rush of NPUP. When doing things from the heart, you don't really look for accolades or to receive special recognition. My sister used to always say, sometimes people don't always want to hear something. Sometimes you have to be a certain. So this is my
There you go.
I do appreciate it.
And this time I'm going to ask Ms. Brenda Carter, NPUC, our very own Ann Phillips, who is the Finance Secretary of APAB. She is the chair of NPUC. Okay, wrong award, Mr. Snyder. And Ms. Carter.
I'm sorry. They were in order.
It's all good. So instead of me talking, for every honoree, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Phillips. I know she knows you well.
In every NPU, we all probably can attest to the fact that we have some people who, no matter what you call them for, when you call them, no matter what time of day or night, they're always going to say, okay, I'll do that. Brenda Carter is one such person. When I picked her up this morning, she was showing me all the areas where she stops to pick up paper. She walks in her house to go pick up paper, pick up trash. And we're not talking about close to her house either. Okay? And I'm like, Brenda, that's almost 2 miles from that point to this point. She said, yeah, I get my exercise by walking up here. Now that's on top of all of the other things that she does, like making sure she's there to help feed the homeless, working with the various community programs designed to help the veterans and the homeless. Councilmember Shepherd, District 12, recommended Brenda. She said, because Ms. Phillips, I can't think of anything I can ask Brenda for that Brenda doesn't do. And when we voted on it in NPU, she basically won unanimously because everybody knew of Brenda's work. So I'm honored today to be here, to be the person to say to you, Brenda, we love you. We thank you for all of your hard work. And as much as I love you, there's no way I'm going to walk 2 miles pick up paper, okay? That's what I call dedication. Thank you so very much. And as I said, this is an honor for me to present this to you today. Okay.
Thank you.
I've never met all of y'all, but my motto is, I don't lean, bend, or bow. I stand up like a black woman, and I'm not scared to take my hands. And that's one of the key things that keep me motivated. I'm not scared to dig in and get my hands everywhere in the sleeves. And I just want that if anybody needs, I'm retired from the disco. They know me as the cookie lady. I pass out cookies everywhere. Number one thing is Luna Dooms. Our second one is Oreos, and our next one is another book. They know me as the cookie lady. That's the cookie lady. I ride Martin. It's smart. So I'm just letting y'all know. You see me. I always keep some cookies in my bag. How much do you have to give? You got to give me nothing. I'm retired from the biscuit. That's what I wanted to tell y'all. If you need anything that you do, I'm not scared to work because I'm a country girl from Alabama. Outstanding. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Peter Ferrari. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Did I? I got it, yay. NPUN. Any representatives? NPUN? Yes. Okay. So, Mr. Ferrari, I understand that you are a self-taught artist from Atlanta. So what kind of artist?
Murals.
Okay. And the reason why I say that is because I bet that you have a lot of compassion about all of the murals that are going on in the city of Atlanta. We have quite a bit of them. When your picture was sent and I saw the mural behind you, I said, oh, how appropriate. I did read your bio as well. I have a special love for artists because I'm a performing artist. And so I know what it takes in order to not only express your creativity, but also be able to give back to the community at the same time, right? And so we do appreciate you and the service that you've provided for NPUN. And we look forward to seeing you again very soon. We hope you will not be a stranger and that you will be here. We meet the third Saturday of every month from 10 until 12. Okay, right here in this room. So on behalf of the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, we present to you the City of Atlanta Neighborhood Matters Awards. Congratulations.
I just want to thank Cabbagetown and everyone who supported my event, Forward Warrior, over the past 5 years. We have dozens of artists who are volunteering their time every year, dozens of community members who give us paint and water and all the things that we need to make my event happen. And thank you so much.
This time we're going to call up Barbara Ward Groves, NPUQ. And I'd like to say something about Ms. Ward Groves. We have history. A history that we not necessarily volunteered. It was not volunteered, let me just say that. Ms. Ward Groves is one of our appointees to the Atlanta Citizens and Review Board. And that process, it took a little while, to say the least. But what I can say about you is that you were persistent. And that is, and you're dedicated. And that is something that we need so badly on our boards and on our commissions. And so when I saw your name be nominated as the honoree, I was not surprised. So I know that Mr. Getachow's here, Smith. I hope I said that correct, did I? I tried. I just need to say Smith, okay? Is here as the chair of NPUQ. And so we just want to thank you so much for your dedicated service and representing us well. We know that we will continue to see you and you will serve well in that capacity. And do know that we appreciate it. We do. And I look forward to you becoming a little bit more involved, if you can. Okay. All right. So, on behalf of the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, I present to you the City of Atlanta Neighborhood Matters Award. Congratulations.
Is it time for me to speak?
Yes.
First, I want to say thank you so much for my chairman and the whole NPUQ for supporting me over the last couple of years. And thank each of you for allowing me to come to speak before you today. And indeed, I do need to become even more involved. I'm not the pastor, so I can't say it as eloquently or as convincing as you. But trust me, I am appreciative. I know there are a lot of things that need to be done in the city of Atlanta. And so I stand here before you saying that I am so proud to say that I am willing to be a servant. Because as the Bible says, it is the least of us among us that's important. And so I dedicated myself in retirement and trying to make a difference, a very small difference. But I think if each of us do just a little to try to address our needs in the community, we will have such a more loving and caring community. And that is indeed what we need at this time. So thank you all so very, very much.
At this time, I'd like to call Ms. Loretta Green up to the podium. The chair, Antonita Robinson, NPUR, will be with her along with any others who would like to come. Okay, also Senator Ford is in, so come on up. Don't speak, just take the picture. I'm just kidding, Senator. Come on up. Come on down. Wait, no. Okay, Senator Ford is going to come up and say something about Ms. Green.
I'll be very short. This is my habit. But I just wanted to be with Ms. Green this morning because she is a terrific asset to this community. She's been on the battlefield a long time. And one thing I've learned, I do what Ms. Green say do, and I stay away from where Ms. Green says stay away from. So we appreciate you, but we love you also for all you've done, not just for your neighborhood in Atlanta, but for your country and your service over these many years in military service as well. So God bless you and thank you.
I was requested to come up here, and I certainly want to honor that request, Ms. Green. Thank you. you all don't know this woman has dedicated a lot of her time in behalf of the service of the city of Atlanta. She is a fierce champion for people when they have their water bills and have to have them appealed. It's always good to have somebody. You got to make me cry. You don't mess up with Fighting on behalf of the citizens of the city and having that community voice and just a caring heart and a big supporter. And I love you and thank you for all you do. And all I have to say, I don't know if any of you, I know you're supposed to do this, but know how old Miss Green is. But if you had any inkling into how old you think she may be, I certainly wish I had a tenth of the energy you have at your age when I get there. And that means I have a long, long lot of years of service ahead of me. Thank you so much for all you do.
Ms. Green, on behalf of the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, we'd like to present the City of Atlanta Neighborhood Matters Awards. Congratulations and God bless you. On this side. Well, actually, there's more people, so maybe better over here. Yeah.
Right there.
We're going to take more pictures too with the family members and everything. So. Congratulations.
Thank you, and I appreciate all the good words that were said. However, I would like to honor the late Mr. Barney Sams, who was president of NPUR. Barney is the reason that I am active in the community. He was dedicated to Southwest Atlanta, and he strived for the Camden Road, Greenbrier area every day of his life. So I hope that I'm 1/10 of what he was in the community. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. At this time, I'd like to call up Joe Stewartson, NPUM. Joe Stewartson? Okay. He's not here. We'll make sure he receives his award. Mr. Woodson is not here. However, Mr. Russian, did you want to accept his award? Okay. He's going to get his award. Mr. Woodson was actually an honoree last year, and so we were not able to give him his award last year, and so we made sure that it was done this year. At this time, I'd like to call Mr. Jim Martin to the podium, as well as any family members of the late, great Preston Mason of NPUD. Family members? Okay. So Mr. Martin is going to speak about Mr. Mason, and then he will accept his award.
I think Linda Preston's wife had planned to be here last month. I'm not sure she might have a schedule conflict today. We are, however, joined by Dustin Hillis, who lives in Preston's neighborhood, Riverside, and is now the council representative for that neighborhood, and also by Felicia Moore, who was elected to be the chair of NPUD, and was apparently a contested vote against Preston Mason. And that, well, I mean, I think that perhaps carries with it a lesson for us all,
Yes.
in that Preston, in addition to his many environmental causes, which was really his passion, was dedicated to community involvement, community engagement, to the NPU system, and to APAB. And when he lost that contested election, he did not skulk away. He engaged with Ms. Moore. They were friends. They collaborated on many issues. He was still involved in the NPU. In fact, he was involved in the NPU for longer than anyone I could find remembered. So I was trying to figure out exactly when that began, and couldn't get a firm answer to that question. Some of the folks who recently became involved in NPUD and did not know Preston had asked me when he died, oh, which one was Preston? And I answered that question by saying he was the small man with strong opinions who sat in the back of the room, at which point everybody knew exactly who Preston was. So I guess probably Felicia would like to say a few words, and perhaps Dustin would be willing to accept the award on Linda's behalf, since I, Westfield here, will be able to transport it home with me for that reason.
That is a good reason, right?
I am so honored to stand here on behalf of the family and also for Preston Mason. And I do think that our history together over the years is a testament, just as Jim said, to us as people in the community, even as elected officials, how we deal with each other in situations. None of our relationships are permanent. We came into it contentiously because I was coming in to be new leadership for the NPU, and he was not having it. And Preston, we fought vigorously over those times, but as I became a member, as well as an active member and the chair of the NPU and active in APAB, we grew to find that we had commonalities in terms of wanting to get things done in the community, and started working on those things. And as I was council member, he would often call me, call my office to help get some of the environmental causes and issues that he had. And I was always very supportive of him because he was doing that work that nobody else wanted to do, or no one else ever thought about or cared about. And yeah, he was a small man with a big opinion in the back of the room, but he also had this big bellowing voice that you had to recognize him and you had to hear what he had to say. I have such fond memories of Preston Mason, and like I said, it's a relationship that has developed and grown to something great. So, whatever relationships you may have, in the NPUs, you all, I would like to sit here like y'all nice little people. Y'all talk about the city council saying that we don't get along. Y'all don't do it either. So just understand that while you may not agree on a particular issue at a particular time, tomorrow you might be the best friends and best advocates that you ever had. So thank you, Preston, for all you did for the community.
I'll be brief. Dustin Hillis, council member for District 9. Met Preston a few years ago, so I don't know him as much as Jim does or Council President Moore does. But he was, as they said, he was big on the environment. You see and hear a lot of people that say they care about their environment and they're environmentalists and they're for this cause or for that cause. But Preston, he didn't just say it, he did it. He got up there and got his hands dirty. He was a great educator. Myself and another great community advocate, Keith Sharp, have been working on clearing some trails along with other people in the neighborhood, and Preston want to get out there and get his hands dirty and help us clear privet and show us the correct way to do it. And it was against using chemicals, but he had all these other solutions. And it was just great working with him, and I just hate that I'm not going to be able to work with him as his council member, and I know he's dearly missed by many in the community, and we really miss him. And the other thing that I think was mentioned, he was also an elected representative for Fulton County on the Soil and Water Conservation Board. So we miss you, Preston. Thank you.
So it's an honor to be able to give a man like Mr. Mason a Lifetime Achievement Award for APAB. We don't take these lightly. We believe in the commitment that it takes and the dedication that it takes in order to live the life that he did. When I found out, I did send out an email that Jim had forwarded to me that had pictures of Preston. It basically was a video of nothing but pictures of him. He was in the forest, doing the work that he loved. And so I think that probably next month we will show those pictures during the meeting. I think that would be good, as well as just honoring all of our honorees from a pictorial standpoint. So on behalf of the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, we'd like to present the City of Atlanta Neighborhood Matters Awards to Preston Mason. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we are getting to the end of the ceremony, and at this time, I don't believe there is any staff from the C.T. Martin Natatorium and Recreation Center management or staff here. I did speak to Stacy, what's Stacy's last name? Alexander. And he has to be with the kids today. He said that he would see if another coach could come. But our recording secretary, Barbara Hubbard, if you would come forward, she actually nominated the management and staff at that particular recreation center in Adamsville. And I'm going to have Ms. Hubbard to speak on why she did that. It was for good reasons, I'm sure. And then she'll be receiving their award, and she will make sure that their staff gets it.
The recently renamed C.T. Martin Natatorium and Recreation Center is indeed a jewel in the community. It serves not only the community that surrounds it, but throughout the city, throughout the metro area. Tracy and his staff, they do an outstanding job. It's the home of the outstanding Dolphin swim team. It's just a wonderful facility to have in the community, and it's so accessible. The staff is always willing to go above and beyond the call of duty to assist. And we are so privileged to honor them in this way.
Okay, you did good, Ms. Hubbard. Okay, so on behalf of the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, we'd like to present the City of Atlanta's Department of Parks and Recs, Adamsville, a Partner Award, and also the Neighborhood Matters Awards. Congratulations. And we make sure Okay, wow. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so thank you all so much for coming. At this time, I have a few instructions, okay? The honorees, if you would like your box, we have your box for your award. Number 2, family and friends who would like to take pictures with their honorees. We can do that now under the direction of Mr. Bruce Morton, who's our photographer, okay? I'd like to make sure that we get a group picture of all the honorees, a picture of all the delegates, alternates and delegates, And that's it. I know it seems like I'm trying to hurry up, and it's because I've got to get ready for the meet and greet over in the old council. We've got to go set it up. Myself and Mr. Martell will be leaving, and Mr. Toomer will be presiding for the end of the meeting. And please, all are welcomed. It is catered. The food is good, okay? And we don't want to have any food left over, okay? So in the council chambers, after you take your pictures, and Mr. Toomer adjourns the meeting, okay? Thank you. Yes, the old council chambers. Just follow the people who know where to go. And have I left out anybody else? Earlier, we recognized city officials, and Councilman Matt Westmoreland just walked in. So if you could just raise your hand, sir. Okay. Listen, we want to make sure that this room is like this every Monday. Can we do that? Yeah. Outstanding, wouldn't it? Okay, well, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Toomer, who's the first vice president of APAB. Thank you so much.
It seems like we should get a motion to adjourn and then go into the picture session. Is that not?
You presiding, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's. Can we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Call the question.
Question is called.
All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Opposed? No. It is unanimous. Thank you, everybody, and thank you so much for coming in. I would like to second what Jennifer had stated, that it would be nice to see this room filled like this every APAB meeting, the monthly meetings, and also the NPU meetings. Again, thank you. We are adjourned, and at this point, we will follow the instructions of the photographer. I will leave that mic on for you to call your groups, etc.